Hi, this is Scott the Peaceful Shaver of mywifeandishaving.com. So I'm really excited to bring you this video today. My son isn't old enough to shave yet, but my nephew is shaving. He's 17, and I'm not sure what he's been using up till now, but he hates shaving, hates it. And he grows this scraggly beard, and my sister can't stand it, and I guess he doesn't like it either. And she was asking me about razors, and she was asking me about electric razors. And the first razor I used when I was a kid was an electric razor. That's my father gave me an old Norelco, and I found that I got irritation from it. It wasn't close at all, and I found that I got irritation, and I couldn't stand shaving with the thing. And after that, I switched to cartridge blades, which were, for me, were much better. Obviously now I'm a wet shaver, and I use a single edge, double edge razor blades, and I enjoy it much more. So I thought I could use this video as a teaching moment. I'm going to be giving my nephew, Jake, a setup. And so I'm going to be using a setup similar, not exactly the same, but similar to what I'm going to be piffing to him. And I hope that he enjoys it, and I wanted to teach him in this video, and I thought that I could share it with all of you. For somebody who has never done this kind of shaving before, I just wanted to reduce it to its simplest terms so that he can begin using it right away, right out of the box. And I don't want to make this a very long video, I just wanted to make it informational. So the best time to shave is right after a shower, and your beard is nice and hydrated and soft, and your whiskers are soft from the shower. That is the optimum time to shave. If you can't shave right after a shower, then certainly before you put razor to face, you should hydrate your face a little. You should at least wash your face with a good soap, and maybe hold a wet towel, a warm or hot wet towel on your face, just to get the hairs to stand up and to get them to cut more easily. But definitely after a shower is the best time, and that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm going to be using a 3-piece razor, which is, Jake, what I'm going to be sending you is a 3-piece razor, not this one, but it's going to be one that works similar. So all 3-piece razors basically work the same. There's a handle which you're going to unscrew, and then the head comes into 2 pieces. There is the base plate, and there's the top cap, and usually the thread for the razor blade is on the top cap. So I'm going to put my razor back here, and you're going to be taking a brand new razor blade, and I'm going to be sending you some Voshods, which I know you know how to pronounce, Jake, because you can read Russian perfectly. I was blown away by this, that he just taught himself to read Russian. And so it's really, really interesting. So I'm going to be sending you some of these Russian blades, Voshods. And so they come in a piece of paper, and then underneath the paper, when you open it up, it's in some wax paper, and then you open that up. Now be really careful when you open this up, because the sides of the blades are extremely, extremely sharp. So when you take it out there, you just want to be careful of what you're doing, that you don't handle it by the edges. The edges are really sharp. You want to make sure you handle it by the top and the bottom like this. So, taking my blade, okay, always holding it like this, being cognizant of that blade because it's extremely, extremely sharp. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to lay it right here on the top cap, okay, between the threads. And then you take the base plate and just plop it right on there. Okay, kind of hold it together with 2 fingers. Again, not holding it by the sides, but holding it by the top. And then you're going to take your handle and you're going to screw it down until it's tight. Okay, you can hold it by the edge here, but never by this, okay? Until it's tight, but you don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to strip that thread, just so it's tight. And I'm just going to put it down here into some warm water, because warm water feels better on your face than cold water. And I'm going to be sending you a shave stick, and I'm going to be sending you a synthetic brush, because synthetic brushes are the least hassle to work with. They dry quickly, and they're really easy to whip a lather with, and there's no fuss, no muss. I'm actually going to be using a boar brush in this video, but the principles are the same. The only difference being when you're using a natural hair brush like I'm going to be using, whether it be boar, badger, or horse, you need to soak the brush for at least 5 minutes before you use it. The synthetic brush you're going to be getting, you don't need to do that, okay? All you need to do is plop the brush down into some water, some warm water, and just let it moisten a little bit, okay? And the shave stick, okay? You just gotta unwrap the shave stick a little bit. You don't have to unwrap the whole thing. You just plop it down in some warm water and just warm it up a little bit. Okay, so I just got out of the shower. I'm just gonna wet my face again. In wet shaving, water is your friend. So I'm just gonna splash some warm water on my face. That's it. I've got about, honey, how many days worth of growth do I have? I shaved on when? Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday, so today is?
Friday.
Friday, so 5 days. So I've got 5 days of growth. I got a good amount of beard growth here. And I have a thick, coarse beard. Being 17 years old, I'm doubting that it's gonna be as coarse and as thick as mine is, but the principles here are all the same, okay? So my shave stick has been soaking. All you do with the shave stick is you just rub it right on your beard, and it'll pick up some of that white soap you'll see, and you don't need to put a ton of it on. Just like this, just in the places you're gonna be shaving, and that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Then you take your brush, which has been soaking in the water, and you shake. Just give it a couple of shakes to get most of the water out of it, but there's still some water in here. And then all you're gonna do is start working up a lather. And miraculously, look at this. The soap comes to life. Now, you may ask, why don't I just use the stuff that comes in a can? Well, soap in the can is all full of propellants and chemical garbage that is actually drying to your skin, is not at all slick, does not provide a good shave, and is harmful to your skin. Now all I'm gonna do is just take the tips of the brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead, and I've got a little mug here that I'm using, okay? It's actually called a shaving scuttle, but you can use anything, okay? Or you can just fill up your basin with water. I'm just gonna dip the tips of the brush into the water, get a little bit more water on my brush, and just keep working it in. You wanna work it in for about a full minute. This gets the hair, the soap between the hairs, lifts the hairs up, and it's going to provide cushion and glide for your razor so that it'll cut easily. So I was doing some circular patterns, now I'm just going to do some painting. Just kind of paint it on, and you want to get your whole beard covered so you can't see any of the hair poking through. You want to kind of make it not too thick a coat, but nice thin coat like this, but so that you can't see your skin underneath it and you can't see the hairs. And that's perfect, okay? And now you're gonna put your brush aside, not back into the water, but you're gonna push it aside because you're gonna be able to use this some more. And you're gonna be pretty much done with the shave stick right now. Because one application of it is gonna be good for your entire shave. Now, I'm gonna take my razor. It's been loaded, okay? Now, the trick is you wanna shave, especially when you're new, you wanna shave with the grain. You're never gonna shave against the grain until you're used to this, okay? And for most men, with the grain is down. So basically what you wanna do is you wanna hold the razor. You don't have to hold it tightly. You just kinda hold it like this, And I kind of use one of my fingers to kind of prop it up like this. And these razors have some heft to it. So you never need to press. Now, I don't know if you used a cartridge razor previously and you had to kind of press down to get it to cut. These blades are so sharp and there's some heft to the razor that you never press. You just allow the weight of the razor to do the shaving. So I'm just gonna warm it up a little bit and I'm just gonna put it right here and you're just gonna allow it to drag down. Just like this. Take short strokes. Now one side gets filled up, you turn it over because it's a double-edged razor, and you take some short strokes, and I'm only shaving down until, now it may take you a second to find the correct angle. Okay, usually it's about 30 degrees to be able to, you want to be able to, the strokes removing that shaving cream, and then you give it a little rinse, and you can proceed. Down. See, the shaving cream's coming right off and I'm not giving any pressure at all. Just the weight of the razor is doing the work. That side's filled up. Turn it over. All right. And give it another little rinse. And go over to this side, do the same thing. So you're going to be getting a brand new razor, Jake. This one is what's called a pre-war tech. This is a made by Gillette in the early 1940s, before World War II. It's what's called a heavy tech. So it's a vintage razor. You're going to be getting a brand new one, but the way that it shaves is going to be exactly the same. All right, there we go. Now, when you shave your upper lip, you want to kind of curl your lip like this. You want to make the skin as flat as possible so that it'll glide over it easily. Just like this. Now you're not trying to remove all the hair in one pass. And this is one pass that I'm doing right here. It's a series of passes, and it's hair reduction. It's not hair elimination in one pass. It's a reduction technique. And now I'm going to kind of stretch my skin a little bit. Kind of move my neck like this so I can stretch my skin. It's going to get underneath the neck again, going down against the with the grain. With the grain is the most comfortable pass. It's really the only pass you want to do when you're new to this. Okay, that side's filled up. And flip it over. For the Adam's apple, what I do is I kind of swallow and hold it, and that kind of moves my Adam's apple in, and then I won't nick the Adam's apple area. Just like that. Giving it a little rinse. You can either rinse it underneath a running sink, or you can fill up your basin with sink and just smush it around in the water. Either way. Just like this. It's gradual hair elimination, reduction. All right. Now, on my chin here, I want to kind of go like this. Short strokes, no pressure. All right, so that was my first pass. I'm just gonna put it back here in the water, and I'm just gonna rinse my face. Now you don't have to take all the soap residue off. I'm just gonna rinse it just so it removes any loose hairs that's on my face. And you should be able to feel that you got a lot of it off, but there's still some there. And that's it. You just want to rinse that much. You can leave some of it on there because you want that nice slickness. And I can actually feel the slickness remaining from the soap. Okay? So I'm going to take my brush up again. It still has some soap in it. Go right ahead to this is called a face lather. Okay, spread the soap around. And then once again, I'm gonna dip the tips of the brush, just the tips, in the water. Put a little bit more water in here. I'm gonna paint till I'm in white face again. Underneath. Now, that's good. For the second pass, you don't need as much as you did in the first pass. That's perfect. Now I'm recommending for new users, and particularly young users, that you don't do any more than 2 passes until you've been doing this for like a month or so and your skin has built up a tolerance to this. Because shaving isn't something that your skin likes, but wet shaving is what your skin likes the most. So for a new shaver, I'm gonna recommend that you do a with the grain pass a second time. Exactly the same way you did it the first time. Once you've built up a tolerance, you can do across the grain. And I'm going to do across the grain for my second pass, but I'm recommending when you're brand new, just do with the grain one more time. But here is the across the grain pass, because I've built up the tolerance to it. And you're just going to go like this way, across the grain. You're just coming at those hairs from another angle and reducing them even further. Just like this. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the other side. Same thing. Cross. Okay. I'm going to rinse it. Shake it off. And I'm going to do a cross in the mustache area. Again, no pressure at all. Just allowing the slickness of the soap and the weight of the razor to do all the work. Same thing down here, cross. All right. And then underneath, same thing. I'm lifting my neck up so that I'm making the skin tight so that it'll move across there easily and not catch on any flabs of skin. Now, you being 17, you're not going to have flabs of skin like I do. And there we go. That was 2 passes. I'm going to go ahead and give a little rinse. This time I'm going to get all the soap off. And once you get all the soap off, you're never going to rub your face, but you're going to pat it dry. Okay? A little pat dry. Just like this. You want to make sure that you don't have any of the soap in your ears. Okay? And then once your skin is dry, patted dry, not rub dry, you're going to put some balm on because the balm is really going to protect your skin, particularly in the wintertime. So you're just going to take a little bit of the balm, just like a tiny, tiny amount in the middle of your hand. You're just going to take a couple of fingers and you're just going to apply it in the areas where you shaved. And if you have any burning or anything like that, it's going to soothe it. It's going to irritate it. If you did apply some pressure and you took off some layers of skin and it made it irritated a little bit, that's going to soothe it and it's going to make it better. Also, I know you have witch hazel because I gave you some. Splashing on some witch hazel before you do the balm is a wonderful thing to do. You take that witch hazel, you just take a little bit, activate it in your hands, and just kind of put it all over the shaved area. It's going to cool it, calm it. It's going to feel really good. You let the witch hazel dry. There's a little barber's trick. You take a towel, kind of do this with a towel, and it'll make that witch hazel dry. And then after it's dry, maybe waiting for it to dry, you brush your teeth or whatever. After it's dry, then you go ahead and put some of that balm on. I'm recommending that you only do 2 passes. I'm recommending that both passes be with the grain until you've been doing this for a few weeks, maybe a month, and then you can do your second pass across the grain. Once you get older and you're really used to it, then you can begin doing against the grain passes, but I don't recommend doing that for a while. I do 3 passes. I do 1 with, 1 across, and 1 against, and it works great. But I'll tell you something, I just did 2 passes today, and I might stop there because I got a really good shave. So, Jake, I really hope you enjoy the kit that I'm going to be sending you, and I hope that this helped other people out there as well. Wet shaving is a great way to take care of your skin. It feels good. There's some wonderful tools and products out there that smell good, that feel good, and I really enjoy it. And you start your day feeling fantastic. Or maybe you're a night shaver and you end your day just feeling great. And I love the way that my freshly shaved skin feels. I remember when I used to get a really good shave after I hadn't shaved for a while, and then I was talking on a telephone when we used to have the landline phones. I just remember the feeling of the telephone against my face felt different, and I liked it. I don't know, I'm very tactile. Jake, I hope you enjoy the kit I'm sending you. I hope this helps, and I hope this might help other people out there. So, from my wife and I shaving, this is Scott, the Peaceful Shaver. Thanks for watching.